Hello, everybody, and welcome to the HCW Indie Show Review. I am your host, Frozzy, alongside DP, and we are here for another review of a show that DP has recently been to. How are you doing today, DP?
I am not too bad. Thank you for asking, Frost. Just excited. Obviously, as we both know, last night was a very exciting night for people like us who just really love Eurovision.
Yep,
But other than that, though, just a bit tired. Other than that, though, feeling alright, feeling good. How about you?
good. Yeah, not too bad. Like I said, just off the back of Eurovision last night, which is always a fun time. Um, Switzerland. I mean, you're going now, aren't you? Switzerland next year.
Hell
That's the
yeah,
plan.
hell yeah! One of the most expensive countries in the world.
Yeah, I remember saying to Lauren last night when Ireland were doing well, I was like, DP said he's going to go to wherever wins this next year, so that if he's Ireland, he's going to be severely disappointed.
It was funny because like the part of me was thinking like, oh, the UK might win. It's like, if the
Yeah,
UK win, please do not have it in bloody London. I was like,
yeah,
the one
yeah,
year
yeah,
I decided to do it.
yeah. Oh, I'm just going down the road.
Yeah, I live near a venue that could do it as well. Like that's the thing. Like,
Yeah, yeah. No, fair. But we are going to crack straight on with this review. You attended DP Purpose Wrestling's Mathletics event, which is a different name. This took place on Friday, the 10th of May, at the Merton Art Space in Wimbledon, which is London-ish.
yeah, it's like on the outskirts of London. I guess is the right word for it. I think it's
Yeah,
Wimbledon's obviously as you know like the big tennis stuff is over there as well, but
yeah,
I don't really know if it's London or not. I don't think they count themselves as London, but they
yeah.
kind of fall on county lines. So they
Right,
do and they
okay.
don't. I think it depends on what area of
Right,
London you're in.
yeah. Fair enough. It's like one of them places where if you leave it, it's like you've got a completely different postcode.
Yeah, precisely. So like,
Yeah,
I think the postcode for this particular venue is like SW18, which is
yeah,
Southwest London.
yeah.
So I think the venue itself is in London, but I don't think Wimbledon as a whole is London.
Right, okay. Yeah. Well, fair play. Thanks for that geography knowledge on London there, DP.
No worries.
What is and what isn't. Because I'm sure that's what everyone wanted to know.
Exactly. You tuned to
And
us
we'll just end the review there.
Yeah, for geography.
Next week, we'll do fun with flags.
Way. This was the intro.
God. Right, well, we're going to get straight into this because it was, I believe, a 6-match card. Is that right?
That is
yeah,
correct,
I've not
yeah.
missed anything. Perfect. So, you've been to this venue before, so we're not going to talk about the venue like we used to because you've done this venue a million times. So, we will just get straight into the first match, which I believe was Jordan Breaks versus Harry Sefton.
Yes. Before I do get into it though, as well, I do want to say this is my first Pepper show that I've been to. In I want to say over a year. It's been a year and a bit. Not a year and a half. It's like between like I don't know, maybe 12 to 14 months, something like
Yeah,
that. Just because I had financial issues, personal stuff, and just
yeah.
it's a Friday. It's hard to get to a show on a Friday.
It's when you've got work commitments and stuff. Yeah, it's difficult because you do work on Monday to Friday, so
Yeah, exactly. So that's the main
it's
reason.
not always possible. Yeah,
So
yeah, it happens. I'm pretty sure that if we went back through the archives, the last time we did a purpose video, I was probably on it.
maybe that would have been
So
what probably Say La Vie or maybe the one that was in May last year, which would have been a year.
yeah,
I don't remember what show was called off of my head. I remember Say La Vie, and then there was someone else after that I think I was meant to attend, but I had to pull out.
yeah.
So it's what it is.
Well, yeah. Well, after over a year away, we'll say your first match back at Purpose Wrestling was Jordan Breaks and Harry Sefton.
Yeah, Jordan Briggs is phenomenal. By the way, he's like a proper catch style, Brit rest style, like what's the word? Like classical British wrestling.
Yeah,
Like it's great technical graps with him. And if it's something that you like, then Jordan Briggs is the guy for you because Zatsuma Junior's off in Japan or wherever.
yeah,
um,
yeah.
Jordan Briggs is phenomenal. As I keep saying. Harry Sefton, on the other hand, I'm not too familiar with. I've seen him like once or twice. good. He's a good wrestler, but right now he's sort of in the character space of he's a lackey to James Farrell, who is another technical wrestler on the Brit Rest scene. James Farrell and Jordan Breaks have been involved in a rivalry of sorts where they're trying to one up each other. They're both technical wrestlers, so they had, I believe at the last show, they had like a British rules match, which had like special lighting and like a special referee outfit, and like it was like special rules and stuff like that. And it was all had a certain kind of feel to it, which I believe Jordan won, but James feels like he wasn't at his best. So now he's sending Harry, his lackey, to sort of gauge Jordan, to sort of get a better understanding of him, and then come back to face him again, probably at the next show, if I had to guess. So the match starts with crowd chants of Harry sucks, because Harry's the heel, if you couldn't tell already. So it starts with some chain wrestling. There's fluid movements, smooth transitions, and lots of counters. As I said already, he's a master of the technical style and has control of most of the match at the starting points. But an arm wrench over the ropes gets Harry back into control of the match. There's a short brainbuster hit by Harry, which I thought was pretty good. To be fair, like it's like a very, it's like a snap suplex, but mixed with mixed with a brainbuster, and that's the 2 count. Then there's a series of flash roll-up pins, which is arguably the most annoying part of this match, where they do the constant roll, but then like 2 counts. So it isn't like constant. It's like 1, 2, roll, 1, 2, roll, 1, 2, roll, and it's like I don't. I think they did it like 13 or 14 times. I didn't count, but
that's overkill.
Yeah, and again, I know it's very much the style of Jordan Breaks as well, which I don't mind too much. Sorry, my throat's a little bit clogged.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, overall it was okay because I can look past it because it's Jordan Breaks, which might be a little bit of bias. But hey ho, it's my review. Anyway, so that eventually leads to him getting breaking free of a pin, which then leads to him hitting a sharpshooter, which he then locks in deep to get the submission victory. I rate this 3 stars. It was a good opener. Felt a bit one-sided, especially when you thought about the fact that Harry is like an underling, James Farrell, who Jordan is feuding with right now. So this sort of felt like a secondary sort of match to lead into the Jordan and James match. Overall 3 stars though, good opener, and a good match for me to come back to purpose to.
Good stuff. Do you reckon that'd have been higher if you hadn't have had the sequence of 14 near falls?
Maybe a little bit higher. Not fully, but a little bit, yeah. Like a solid, like a solid 3 1/4.
Yeah, it's just, but that's the sort of thing when you are rating wrestling that you look at and you think, if that hadn't have happened, the match would have been better.
Yeah.
And that's it happens it's in all wrestling matches, unless you're Dave Meltzer, where you just
that Omega 5 stars.
yeah. Sorry, did someone just say Will Ospreay?
I mean, he's 5 star anyway.
Oh no, his matches do tend to bang. But, I see some Will Ospreay matches, and I think I've seen matches that are just as good as that don't get the rating. So. Yeah, it's Will Ospreay tax. That's what we'll call it now. But yeah, we'll move on to match number 2. Was there anything in the middle that we need to know? Or
nothing in the middle, no. Just straight into the match.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so straight into the next match, which was Fabio Romano against Bullet.
Yes, I'm not sure if you've called either of these guys before in one of the reviews or anything, but
Bullet, definitely seen him before.
Okay, yeah. So Bullet is called the one man armory. Because he's a tank. He's like a massive guy.
You can tell that just looking at the picture.
Yeah, and Fabio Romano, despite the graphic, he's not the same size as Bullet. It's, if I had to put like a mainstream spin on it, it's probably like Rey Mysterio and Big Show.
Right.
Sort of like that. Obviously, Bullet's better built than Big Show was.
Yeah.
But this is a very David and Goliath story here. I will admit, I don't know the full story behind these two and why this match is happening. I think Fabio wants to prove himself against someone who is like Bullet, just a bigger guy, because he's quite a smaller guy. So my first note here was typical David and Goliath story, with Goliath dominating the affair. Because for the first part of this match, it's mainly just Fabio trying to hit top rope moves or fly-in moves, and Bullet just catches him or counters it in some way. And then my next note was that is literally verbatim. There was hope. And by that, it's where Fabio gets a few kicks and strikes in that seems to take down Bullet for a bit, and then just Lariat takes Fabio out just straight away after that. There was a chant started by the crowd, which is Bullet's got the clap.
Nice.
So it was like Bullet's got the clap, Bullet's got the clap. That. And then as Bullet goes to hit a powerbomb, he he goes to hit a powerbomb and then looks at the fan who started that chant and goes, "I got it from your mum, from your mum."
Nice. Nice.
And then he hits that, and then he hits a power slam, and he's looking dead at the fan as well, who started that, who started that chant as he's hitting these moves.
Amazing.
So as I said, he hits the power bomb. Goes for the pin. 1, 2, pulls him up. So Fabio don't kick out, but it literally lifts him to kick out. Yeah. So at this point, I think he gets a bit too overzealous, a bit cocky, Bullet. Yeah. And Fabio does show some flair. He does come back into it, some spirit. So he's now finally hitting these big moves that he was going for earlier, where he's hitting like spike DDTs and like tilt-a-whirl, like arm drag and stuff like that. He hits a tilt-a-whirl DDT, which then just goes into a series of moves, which culminates in Fabio hitting a code red, which gets Fabio with the free count. So David wins, like the story.
Yeah, I was going to say it went the way that we all expected it to.
I rated 2 3/4 stars. It was a bit short for me. It was a good story, however. It just it was too cocky, and as a result, he lost the match. Afterwards, they shake hands and they exchange like the customary like wrestling hug sort of thing. Yeah. Other than that, I think it's just respect being shown between Bullet and Fabio, so that's pretty good for Fabio Romano.
I was going to say it just puts Fabio over, doesn't it? Like, you got me. Like, well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Bullet could have won this so easily if he just pinned him off the powerbomb.
Yeah, and that's how it's the classic thing, innit? Like I said, big guy gets cocky, like, I've won this, yeah, I'll just lift him up, do a bit more damage.
Yeah, exactly.
And lose.
Yeah. Literally.
But yeah, no, so decent match to follow up the first one. And then, do we have anything in between, or straight into the next? Nothing in between. So, the next match was the Purpose Wrestling Championship match between Michael Oku, your defending champion, and Harry Milligan.
Yes, so for those who aren't aware, Michael Oku is one of the best wrestlers on the Brit Wrest scene. Probably one of the biggest names on the Brit Wrest scene too. He's had matches over the last year with like lots of Chris Jericho. He's been on the Jericho Cruise. I think he's currently the Jericho Cruise Oceanic champion. So yeah, he's been around.
Yeah, he's doing stuff.
Yeah. As for Harry Milligan, is someone who's still up and rising, of course. He's still trying to set his name in stone. This match came about because Michael Oku literally called him out and challenged him to basically show his potential, being like, "I see stuff in you. I want you. Like, what do you say, Harry? Let's burn the house down the next time we have a Purpose show." And this is the last show. Yeah. And then he goes to shake his hand and he attacks him, basically. So it's just Oku being a dick about this, and because he's a heel here, I should say, where he's like practically a face everywhere else. Yeah. And this is something that I genuinely think I'll get into this, but it needs to be studied. His heel run in Purpose, because it's monumental. So yeah, basically just a match to prove himself for Harry, and Oku's being a dick about it because he basically just gave a challenge to whoever he thought he could beat easily. Yeah. And that is his title defense for that month. Like, over the last few months, he's fought the likes of Sky Smithson, Sapphire Reed, under the guise of challenges when, in Oku's character, he's very much sort of, these are women, this is an easy match for me. And that's the character he has. Like, not misogynist or anything like that, it's just typical heelish bollocks. You know, like
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So Michael Oku's here with his apprentice Leland. This is Leland Bryant, who is the youngest brother of the Bryant brothers, which is Nino and Xander Bryant. Nino is a former Purpose Wrestling champion, embroiled in a sub feud with Oku. So he recruited Leland because he was the youngest brother. Basically under the guise of, you don't get enough attention. You're this really good wrestler, but you don't get the attention because Nino and Xander steal it all away. He calls Xander the middle child as well, because he always say something like Nino, Leland, and the middle child. So yeah, Leland's in his corner. He's called just Leland now, not Leland Bryant. So the match kicks off with Harry getting the upper hand. He attacks before the not before the bell. As soon as the bell goes, while Oku's not ready. Oku then uses Leland to get control with a swift PK kick. So literally, Leland distracts him, PK kick. Bob's your uncle. So he gets some back and forth between them. Oku's back in control of the match, and it's slow, it's methodical. This is what he does. Oku very much controls the match. He's got a goal. He wants the crowd, the merch table, the host, whoever's there, and Harry himself to know what that goal is. He's making an example of Harry Milligan. He wants to be like, you know what, this is no defense for me, but also I'm going to make an example of Harry while doing it. However, Harry's able to get himself back into this with a code breaker, which, again, Oku's a fantastic seller. So it's like the ragdoll effect when he gets hit by moves. A springboard moonsault from Oku gives him 2. He transitions the count into a half crab. A move at this point he's attempted 3 times. So he always lifts the leg and goes, "Now we play," which is his main slogan. At this point he tried it for the 3rd time. Finally gets it. Harry able to get to a rope though. Oku then tries a frog splash, which Harry avoids, which then leads to a rope bouncing Canadian destroyer from Harry onto Oku for the 2 count. Oku eventually manages to hit the frog splash though on Harry on the back, and instead of going for the pin, goes for the half crab, which again Harry doesn't submit to until Oku locks it in deep. So he does the bridging half crab, pulls the leg extremely back, and then that forces Harry to tap. I rated this 3.5 stars. As I said already, Oku's heel run needs to be studied. When it comes to wrestling historians and stuff, especially within the Brit Rest scene, someone who's predominantly known as a face, as a baby face on the British wrestling scene, and even the world scene now, because he's going out there. This guy comes to Purpose Wrestling, and he is this absolute prick of a heel. And it's amazing to see. Back when I attended Purpose regularly as well, he was part of a team called Destination Everywhere, and these were just these prick heels. It was him, your pal Connor Mills, 2 guys who've now retired. I can't remember their name, but they were called the NIC. One was called Oasis Delaney, and the other one was called something else. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name if you're watching this. But yeah, as I said, it needs to be studied. He has an insane amount of range and diversity. The guy is phenomenal. He's a great wrestler, and his style translates into both alignments. It can be a face thing, it can be a heel thing. It's just the little nuances in between that differentiate to the 2 sides. So yeah, Oku is phenomenal. That's the moral.
I was going to say, there's a lot, over the last few months where there's been talk of Oku being as good as he is and stuff like that, so I'm not surprised that he's had another good match. But yeah, it's good to see that, like you said, that his work as a heel, is as good as it is when he's a face everywhere. I always find it really impressive that when you're as well known as someone like Oku, you can be a heel in one place but a face everywhere else and it still works.
Yeah, literally. I remember the first time I attended.
Realistically, he shouldn't.
Yeah.
Imagine going to one show and he's a face, but then you go and see him the next night and he's a heel and you have to boo him.
Yeah, literally.
It's weird.
I remember seeing him for the first time in Purpose, and I don't recall who he was facing, which is the worst thing for me, but I remember him coming out to different music, as I wasn't used to us having different music for different shows. So I thought he'd come out to his Rev Pro music. And he didn't. I was like, who is this? And it's like, oh, it's Michael Oku. And then Oku comes out, he's coming out slow. It's like a very taunting, mocking fashion. And it's like, hang on a minute, is he a heel here? I was like, and I thought, I can't wait to see what he does here as a heel. And he showcased what he can do, and from that day, I've absolutely loved Oku's heel run on purpose.
And it's good for him that he can play either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, eventually when he signed, because it'll come soon, when he signed to a major company, be it New Japan, be it AEW, be it WWE, like, whoever it is, he will be phenomenal. Like, honestly, I can see him in NXT. Like, they need a big guy, they need a big name there, and Oku, while not necessarily known to the American fans as much, he'll win them over. Yeah,
exactly. That's it. I mean, I don't know whether you'd be... Do you go and have a run in Impact and then go to WWE or AEW or something like that? That could be a way he goes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, he's doing good work. So, happy to see that. Did you have an interval? Or I'm assuming after 3?
Yeah, there was an interval. Just, standard 15 minutes, whatever. I won the raffle.
What did you win?
I won, what was it? £10 off a merch. So.
Fair play.
But,
did you buy any merch?
I couldn't buy any merch, so just financial issues. But I just spoke to one of the staff, and it's been carried over basically to whenever I can buy merch.
Oh, that's good then.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Other than that, though, yeah, that's it. And the same guy won the other 2 prizes, which was I think it was like free drinks or something, or a free drink or something like that at the bar. And then also tickets to a future purpose show.
And he won both.
Yeah.
No way. Fair play to him then as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hey you. Yeah, you. Do you like this video? There is a button. It's a very sexy button. It says subscribe on it. I wish I could click on it, but YouTube won't let me. Damn fuckers.
Free tickets and a drink.
Yeah.
Right, well, we'll move back on to match number 4.
Yes.
Now, this was originally advertised as Sapphire Reed against Maya Matthews, but Sapphire is injured, and Sky Smithson was the replacement. Is that right?
That's right, yeah. Cool. So, yeah, as you said, that happened, and then Sapphire's injured, which is why she can't be here. I knew the fact that she was here, though, because I saw her outside the venue. So I knew something was up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, before the match can begin, before the bell rings, I should say, we hear some music. And I thought, oh, it's Sapphire. It's not Sapphire Reed, it's Amira. And Amira stands at the top of the stage in a ref shirt. What can that mean?
She is taking out the trash.
Who knows? But no, obviously she's going to try to be the guest ref, but there's already a ref in the ring. So she just basically comes in and says, I want to be guest ref, but only if, one condition, if I can beat Oscar, the ref, in a game of rock, paper, scissors. So they do that. I think they tie like 2 or 3 times.
Jesus.
And then eventually Oscar wins, and then she just kicks him in the nuts.
Right.
And then that causes Oscar to roll up the ring and leave. And then so now Amira is the ref for this match. Which I know you're not familiar with purpose stuff, so I'll briefly fill you in. Amira has been involved in this broiling feud, I guess, with Maya Matthews and Sapphire Reed, in regards to Sapphire and Maya are good friends, and that's been known, and they've teamed before on purpose shows and stuff like that. Amira sort of involved herself in the friendship. She took Maya under her wing, essentially, because she teamed with Alex Windsor for a bit. And then that all sort of collided, and then they became friends that way, her and Maya unofficially or unwillingly became Amira's student. And then that didn't please Sapphire because of the way Amira did things. And then that led to tensions between Sapphire and Maya. And then that was why we had the match here, between Sapphire and Maya, but Sapphire got injured, so we couldn't do that. So here comes Sky Smithson, who is as well incredible wrestler, a fierce fighter herself. Recently fought Makaloku in a losing effort for the world title. So this could have been a world title match if she'd won.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not. So
but it's not.
So so Amira's now the ref, so she does that job. Cool. So Amira's ref now. The match gets underway. Amira applauds herself for every rule she calls correctly. So it's like rope break. Was that right? Yeah. And then she does. It becomes clear at one point that she's got a favourite in this match. As Sky goes for a pin. One count. One.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happens. And then later on, Maya gets a pin going as well. 1, 2, kick out.
Yeah, the classic heel ref. Or not heel ref, just like favouritism.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't necessarily call Mira's character a heel so much. I mean, definitely has heelish tendencies. It's just, I wouldn't call it outright heel. Like there's a very clear heel coming up in this card, and but so she's got a favourite. Fast counts Maya, slow counts Smithson. Eventually, Sky had enough of this because it keeps happening, and she gets right in Amira's face, and Amira senses something's going to happen, so she leaves the ring.
As you would.
She leaves the ring, stands at the apron to just sort of try and calm down Sky Smithson, and suddenly behind Amira, it's Sapphire Reed. And then Sapphire says, Amira turns around, is like, oh shit, and then just runs, like literally runs around the ring and out the back, like literally, and there's no ref for this match until Oscar's back.
I was going to say he's got to have come back.
Yeah, so he comes back probably like a minute after.
Yeah.
So he's back now, and then the match is just a proper match now. So there's a Maya hot streak, which leads eventually to a 2 count, but eventually Sky wins with the Crossroads. I know that she's got a name for it. I have absolutely forgotten it off the top of my head. I am sorry, Sky, if you watch this, please tell me what your finisher name is. I can't remember for the life of me what it's called.
Yeah.
But yes, it's essentially a Crossroads with like the spiking head bit.
Cool.
But yeah, that ended the match. There is something as well after this that I will get into.
Yeah, go for it.
So after the match, Maya stands in the ring, and I won't go too far into this because it's her story to tell, and she's posted about it on her social media and stuff like that. So go check her stuff out if you're interested in knowing more about that. But Maya basically confirms that this was her last pro wrestling match ever. I think it's just something that she mentions that she had to do, and she thanks everyone for being there, Purpose for helping her, Andy Cord and the Rev Pro for believing in her, giving her the chance in the first place. But yeah, that was her last match ever, and she aligns with her real life friends, Amira, Sapphire, and Sky.
Yeah.
They're all friends at the end of the day, and it happens. I know you should probably going to see this, but thank you, my Matthews, for your service. You were incredible. I've seen you a handful of times, but every time I have seen you've impressed.
Yeah. And good luck for the future as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that aspect to that as well. I have not rated the match.
No, that's fair. I was going to ask, but then when you said what you'd said, I was like, he probably hasn't. So
yeah, just out of respect, it didn't feel right to rate that.
Yeah, no, that's fair. We will we'll move on to the next match, which I'm sure will have a rating.
Yes.
Which is the no disqualification match between Nino Bryant and Spike Trivet.
Yes. So as I've already alluded to, Nino Bryant is a former Purpose World Champion. Currently in a sort of sub-feud with Spike Trivet, but his main feud is Michael Oku. Because Michael Oku won the title from Nino Bryan in a controversial decision because Nino suffered an injury during that title defense against Oku, which then led to the ref calling the match and Oku being awarded the title. So Nino's on the path of redemption here. He's trying to get back to Oku And right now, Spike Gervais stands in his way. Spike came to Purpose in February. He beat JJ Gale in his first match. In JJ's also his debut for Purpose. But he's sensing an umbrage with the Bryant family because he doesn't believe that Nino's worthy of a title shot. And he's sort of played the role of gatekeeper now because he believes he deserves a shot at Oku because he is, to quote him, a real British champion. Which, to be fair, he's probably the best world champion they've had in Progress Wrestling for the longest time. At the very least, he's one you can mention before, like Carl and Wine, that's fine. But like before that, you go into a bit more dodgy territory.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spike Gervais is without a doubt one of the best champions they've had over there, and probably in Brit Wrestling in general, especially for the last, I don't know, I'll say like post-pandemic years. But yeah, Spike's basically saying, you don't deserve a shot. Nino's like, I do deserve a shot. Get out of my way. Spike has essentially made us a number one contenders match, even though that's not officially what it's called. It's just a no DQ match. So they fought at the last show, Hypno Dancer, as well, which I believe saw Nino win. I could be wrong. I'm not seeing the show yet. That's the problem, and there's no results for it. I believe Nino wins from what I read, but I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, so here we are, no DQ. And this is the final, I believe, stop between these two. And after this, whoever wins will probably fight Oku.
Right.
Which is pretty obvious if you think about the story and stuff going into it. So yeah, Spike does his entrance. Nino jumps him at the entrance, and the action starts on the outside, on the ramp. Nino sends Spike into a stack of chairs. Nino jumps from the top of a bookshelf on the Spike. I should say, this is the first and only wrestling show that I know of that's in a library.
No, this.
So it's literally just a library. There's like, around you, there's a seat and a ring, and behind that, there's bookshelves with just books. So, yeah, it's a library.
Bit different.
Yeah, exactly. It's like...
Were you all quiet? Oh.
Well, we're supposed to be, But, yeah, no, so obviously, there's a bit of church, and obviously you have like community centres and stuff like that, or very occasionally you have the odd place, like, there's been a couple of companies in the UK that I think have run a shopping centre. Yeah. There's been one that did a church in Wales, New Wave. Which I've always thought a church would be a good little venue, but the library is, I believe, the only one run like that. So it's unique in its own way. But yeah, so Nino jumps from the top of a bookshelf onto Spike. Spike hits a pile driver onto Nino on the stage. Spike duct tapes Nino's hands together. At this point, Nino is like bound at the wrists. And he's on the receiving end of multiple strikes and kicks, stuff like that. Xander comes in. He's the middle child. He's Nino's brother, Nino's younger brother. He's here. He cuts Nino free. There's plenty of back and forth here. There's uses of a kendo stick. There's uses of chairs. There's like stacked chairs on their side. So like the Kevin Owens style of having a chair laid down but open.
Yeah. And
then like doing some sort of move onto it. I believe Nino hits Spike with a suplex onto a sideways stacked chair. Spike then begins to start tearing apart the ring apron. So he's literally undoing the stuff underneath, and eventually revealing the wooden flooring of the ring. Which they do a few attempts to try and hit each other with it. Nothing really happens until Nino hits a second rope corner springboard tornado DDT onto the exposed wood, and then that eventually gets the 3 count.
Nice. That sounds like a painful move.
It looked painful because the way Spike sells as well. Like for some reason, everyone likes selling on their head, so it's just like it's constant spiking.
Yeah, which is apt when his name's Spike.
Yeah, exactly. I rated it 3 3/4, by the way.
Nice. So far, that is the match of the night. Far, I believe. Yeah. So, yeah, did anything happen following this?
Yes. Thank you for reminding me. I was waiting for the main event. So as Nino's celebrating, out comes Michael Oku. Which, again, if you just knew the story, you knew Nino was going to win this match, and you knew that Oku was going to come out afterwards, or do something at least.
And it all made sense.
Yeah. He says that Nino was never going to get another shot at the title while Oku was champion. But his apprentice Leland, which is Leland Bryant, the youngest brother of the Bryants, had a better idea. And that idea was to put Nino against his own brother. And then the winner of that would become number one contender officially for Oku.
Yeah.
And so it's made official. Nino Bryant versus Leland Bryant. So this is an unofficial 7th match, if I call it that, which I didn't rate because Nino hits one strike, Leland falls down, 1, 2, 3. This has all been a ruse to trick Oku.
I was going to say, I feel like someone has been duped here.
Yeah, and it's Michael Oku. So Oku was tricked by Leland into agreeing to do this because under the pretense of, will Nino really fight his own blood to get a title shot? And it tricked. It worked to trick Oku. Oku allowed it to happen, and now we've got Nino and Oku for the world title again. But in the other way. So this time, Nino is challenging for the title rather than Oku challenging for the title.
Yeah.
It should be a fantastic match when it happens.
Yeah.
And I want to be there.
Do you have a prediction on where you think that might go?
I believe Nino's going to get his title back. Saying that, I don't mind Oku winning it either because I really like his heel.
No.
So, saying that, Nino is the probably penultimate, probably the ultimate face here in Purpose, and Oku is the ultimate heel in Purpose.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
So they're always going to be sort of intertwined anyway, aren't they? Because they're the biggest people there right now on either side of the spectrum.
Precisely, yeah. At one point it was Jordan Breaks because he was the first Purpose champion.
Yeah.
And my first Purpose show was actually main evented by him and Connor Mills, and that was for the inaugural championship crowning. And then since then, I think since he lost it to Nino Bryant after about a year of holding it, and then that really solidified Nino as the main event level guy that we knew he was.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nino's got his shot again at Michael Oku, but that was previously declared by Oku to be impossible to get.
Yeah, and then he got duped, and it was the classic thing, the poke of doom.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Right, well, we'll move on to the main event, which was a combat doubles invitational. It was Sunshine Machine. I butchered their name, you'll be so angry. The Sunshine... Oh my god, I've done it again. The Sunshine Machine.
There you go.
Faced Teens with Attitude.
There we go.
In the main event, we'll just pretend the last 15 seconds hasn't happened.
I mean, it's going to be a short now. I mean,
yeah, it is, yeah.
So this is the Combat Doubles Invitational Tournament Finals. This was a tournament that was set up by Purpose, I believe, for Sunshine Machine. There's no tag titles in Purpose, so this is what they have. They might introduce them at some point in the near future, but not right now. The only title is the world title, which is why the women also fight for the world title, because there really isn't a difference in the divisions like that. Like, women can fight men. It's not...
intergender is allowed to happen here.
Yeah, it's not as taboo as mainstream would have you believe. Sunshine Machine, TK Cooper and Chuck Mambo taking on Teams of Attitude, Mark True and Kieran Lacey. I didn't actually take notes of this match throughout because I was just so enthralled in watching it. So I on the way home on the train, because it's quite a long train journey, I just took notes of what I remembered. So the match is a lot of back and forth to begin with. There's rising tensions throughout, in that True is getting in Lacey's face because Lacey's trying to stop True's aggressions. or because Lacey won't push the rules like True is. And they're constantly building this throughout the match, where it's like True is getting angrier and angrier with Lacey because Lacey's not willing to pull the trigger. He's not willing to do what True's doing. Like, to put it in perspective, TWA have lost Sunshine Machine twice before.
Right.
So this is their third time meeting for tournament finals to win a trophy or something. But this means more to TWA than the Sunshine Machine, because they need to beat Sunshine Machine. They need, in True's mind, they need to win this to establish themselves and not constantly be under the thumb of Sunshine Machine.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that like the heels. They're not heels whatsoever, Sunshine Machine. They're just, when they win, they get a bit cocky because they're winners and they're recognised tag champions across the British wrestling scene. I think they're either tied or they're like the longest reigning Progress Wrestling Tag Team Champions, and one of the few teams in British history to hold both the Progress and Rev Pro titles at the same time. Which is
not that you're a fan or anything.
No, not at all. But no. So yeah, as I said, the digressions with True and Lacey, mainly from True on Lacey. There's plenty of back and forth. No team is truly in control of this, and even when they are, it's for a very short time. Tiki and Membo have the match all but won. But a last-second act from desperation from Mark True, he pulls the ref into the path of a double headbutt and super kick. All hell at this point breaks loose, as both teams exchange a barrage of moves. There's still no clear winner at this point. True and Lacey... True clears out TK with a chair. So TK goes to the outside of the ring. This causes Lacey to get in True's face, because even though the ref's out, he still doesn't believe in breaking the rules. He's still not willing to do that, because in his mind, he's above that, and so is TWA. They're above breaking the rules to get this victory that they want to get. They can win the fair way. So True is pushing him back. They're pushing, and they keep pushing. Then Mambo clears out Mark True. So Mark True's now out of the ring. That leaves Lacey with the chair. And then he's conflicted. Like, Mambo's right there, he could just hit him with the chair. But ultimately he doesn't, and Mambo takes the chair off him, and like Mambo convinces him, you're better than this, there's no need to do this. Just don't do it, man. Like, let's have a fair match. Let's wake the ref up and let's just continue the match. And then Lacey gives him the chair, and Mambo goes to throw out the chair to basically put it to the outside of the ring, and then Lacey grabs another chair and hits him with it. Okay. So he finally pulls that trigger to do that chair. True sees this. He's like, "Yes, Kieran!" And then he gets in the ring, and they hit their tag finisher. And that gets the 3 count.
Wow.
Nice. Great. Yeah, it was a phenomenal match.
Yeah. Oh, go on, hit me with your Meltzer rating here.
So I rated it 6 stars. No. I rated it 4.25.
Yeah. So this was now match of the night.
This match of the night, and you'll notice the trend as well with the ratings. Other than Sky and Maya, because I didn't rate that, it was an upwards trend. From Boku and Harry.
Yeah. I was going to say every match seemed to get better. I think there wasn't much between the opener and the second match on the card either.
No,
I think it went down by like half a star.
It was like quarter of a star. Yeah, there was no bad match on this card.
No. So you picked a good show to go back to.
Yeah, exactly.
A year and a bit away.
Yeah, exactly.
No, good.
Like, Purpose have always been a very solid company. Like, dare I say, they're probably like a hidden gem among the Brit West scene. Yeah. Because I don't think Purpose are that well known to people outside of London. Other than you and Ray, who know it because I mention it. But I'm a Londoner, so that's why you guys know it, because there's a London guy on the podcast. Like, I just don't... Most people who I see come from London, and there's not really any like out-of-world travellers and stuff like that. Yeah. There's like, occasionally you might get the odd one or two, but that's because their friend brought them. And their friends are
Yeah,
regular.
I would say if you're just in the area for some reason. Oh, there's a wrestling show on. Let's go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something Purpose might need to work on a little bit more to get more like fans and more variety and more following.
Yeah.
But other than that, they still put on tremendous shows. This reminded me why I attended Purpose in the first place.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, because you used to go to this all the time when we first started doing this.
yeah.
We were forever reviewing Purpose Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah.
I even had the owner at the time, the owner of the company on to do a preview for one of the shows as well. After that, it just sort of went downhill for me, like personally, and just
yeah. And it happens. We all have our vices and stuff that come in when it comes to personal life, where it just takes over, and it has to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, there's a few wrestlers on the cards that you cover, and I know for Purpose as well that we've interviewed on the channel.
Yeah.
That have wrestled at Purpose and stuff. So yeah, no, it's good that you're going back.
Absolutely. Yeah. Shout out to Sun Machine.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. The cheap plug. You're like Mick Foley. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, getting his cheap pop in. Like, yeah.
Why not? But no. After the match as well, I should say, Mark True gets on the mic and just says, "You lot don't deserve us. You stupid Londoners." I think he said something like that. And then
I feel like that's too PG. He definitely said something worse than that.
He might have done. I don't fully remember what he said, the exact wording. But then they get the trophy and then they just destroy it, and it's revealed the trophy was made of ceramic.
Yeah.
It broke the mug, like.
Right. Yeah.
And
well, I mean, if the end game was to smash it, you're not going to spend a packet on it, are you?
No, exactly.
So no.
But yeah, so TWA win. They get their big win, and that brought an end to the show.
Nice, and that will also bring an end to this review. So thank you, DP, as always, for attending this show and reviewing it. You can follow our socials. They are all over the screen. I don't like pointing at things now because I always get it wrong. DP is doing the pointing. He thinks there's a stewardess, like the exits are here, here, and here. But yes, that is a thing that we will do now. Our socials are here, here, and here. Yeah. But yeah, keep following us. We are dangerously close, and we may get there before this video is out to 1,000 subscribers. And if we do, we thank you very much for all your support. We appreciate you greatly. Keep an eye out for more content coming from the channel. DP has his show squared out every Sunday. There is a showdown every Friday. There is Rate Wrestle shows every other day. Keep looking at the shorts as well. There's a lot of shorts on the channel. If you're ever bored and you fancy a laugh, just go and laugh at us. We tend to do questionable funny stuff.
There's always something to laugh at with us.
There is always something to laugh at with us. There's a lot of inside jokes that don't become inside anymore because people will be cutting in on the amount we reference.
Yeah, tell me about it.
But yeah. Yeah, they're all at DP's head. But yeah, no, thank you again for all your support, and we will see you on the next one.
Peace.